So it's pretty fantastic to be in a room where people have never worked together, and yet we're discovering the ways in which our work really affects one another.
So my panel was probably the most fabulous of the whole conference because we deliberately put people on this panel who don't agree with each other and have different perspectives, come from different histories, different organizations, they do different work. And I think that that's important because I think that we are sometimes under the illusion that we all have to agree in order to work together. And also to keep it spicy, because I think a lot of what some of the panelists were saying were things that people think about all the time and just don't feel comfortable saying out loud. And I chose people who I knew would say things that are on the minds of many, and they did that sometimes maybe more than I wanted them to, which I think was fabulous anyway. But it was I think the topic of the panel, this creating this kind of genuine partnership, so it's an alliances, is really at the essence of our work. If we don't do that, we're gonna keep failing.
Julia's presentation, about which I had not heard her story before, about being stopped at the border, was moving. And then when Mike German followed it up, and he was all choked up, and I have enormous respect for Mike, and I've heard him speak a lot, and I've never seen him moved to tears by another person's talk. So that was really, that really touched me.
It's really incredible conversations about and interactions between different people who are usually don't necessarily work together. They have different types of goals and people who would want to represent or advocate for. And it's important to have them all in one place, to hear both the experience of the last 10 years, the importance of this cross-cutting collaboration between different organizations, advocacy organizations, and affected community members, and in a way to come up with some sort of a new energy for how to effectively respond to the new challenges.
So I think it's that kind of connection building that's happening that makes this so exciting.
The way that it's really centered around providing tools for individuals that are attending. So for example, yesterday I attended a FOIA how-to workshop. That's not something that I had expected, but I thought it was so useful because it's a tool that I've often wondered about, that I want to know how to use, and I didn't know exactly where to go to find out about the how-tos and sort of tips and the process and just a general overview, and to have someone there to explain it to you and ask questions back and forth. I just thought that was so useful.
I just think it was great to make the intersections, which for the most part comes down to selective enforcement. Whether it's immigration, whether it's terrorism, or it's drug policies, the policies are selectively enforced on the undesirables in this country, the people who are politically powerless. And that is the overall intersection, and an intersection that I hope to continue, that I hope will continue to grow, and that we can do some coalition building and some ally work with people from various segments of society.
It really is succeeding as a coalition building event from my point of view. And there's a lot of community organizing and a lot of activists who've sort of come up from within communities rather than people who are taking a sort of charitable, I'm going to help these other people kind of perspective. It's more, let's work together on this, and I like that a lot.
So all of us together are needed to fight all of the things that are going on, but separately I think it's a lot difficult, and this conference facilitates that.
I think here it's just a little bit more, it's unique. Folks who have a little bit more background on, laws and whatnot, so it was interesting.
So we're trying to take advantage of the fact that we have all these incredible people here. And so even after the 2 days, we're taking another day tomorrow to do a strategy session. We're going to bring about 30 people into the room, and we're going to pull out of the last 2 days where we saw the most excitement, where people saw the most synergy, where people are hearing about something that's happening and they want to join in and support it or work with that effort. And so we want to take those ideas and that energy to this meeting tomorrow to really come out with an idea of where we can all go together. And we, Rights Working Group, are going to take that back as part of our planning for 2012. What kinds of things can we do to support our members to make sure that this work moves forward?